for today and get to the healthier you. Find Hotworks Fitness Moorhead on Facebook. Now open.
And welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki.
Voice is always yelling.
Whoops, wrong one. There we go. Along with meteorologist Justin Storm and our wonderful, talented Ag Director, Bridgette Readel. Good Monday to you guys.
Howdy, kids.
How's the weekend?
It's good.
Busy?
Bridgette?
Did you enjoy the rain? Bridgette, how much did you get? You didn't get as much up north.
Where I'm at, we got just over an inch. So I thought that was pretty spectacular.
That's not bad. Yeah. Many areas here around the FM area and point southward picked up 1 to 3 inches of rain. Areas around Kent, Minnesota, Abercrombie picked up 3 to 3.5 inches of rain. Now, I know one of our listeners, M&M, who's all the way down, I think he's down around the tri-state area, they've been very dry, and those are the areas that really got targeted in the far southern valley. So what does that mean, Bridgette? I mean, not really great for the wheat, but definitely good for beans and corn, correct?
Well, I would think so. And I got a text message just a little bit ago from our farmer cooperator, Jim, up by Prosper, and our field got 0.6 tenths. So really, we got over a half-inch rain. And does that bring us back up on track to, let's say, an average rainfall for our year, you guys? Or how do we sit? Because right now, it just came at a later time than maybe earlier.
Right. Since June 1st, at least, and this is out at the airport, which... Again, you know, some of these summertime thunderstorms, it's been heavier in South Fargo, at times heavier in North Fargo. But at the airport where the official records are being kept, since June 1st, we're 1/3 of an inch above normal. So we're pretty close to where we should be for this time of the year.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yep. It's not tragically off.
Based on NDON, that's 105% for Fargo.
Oh.
Yeah. But the immediate surrounding area is anywhere from 50 to 80%.
Right. So it does. It depends kind of where you're at, and those, you know, summer
60, 80. Yeah,
those summer thunderstorms, yeah, they'll disperse themselves a little bit differently. But yesterday was the first widespread soaking rain for our area that we've had quite a long time. So we'll take it.
And there were some areas that saw exceptional amounts of rain. It was just as steady, especially as you got into northeast South Dakota. Things just were slow, not a lot of wind. Now, southern Minnesota did see some wind and hail damage, depending on where you were. But that kind of thing was going on, just a variable. Again, you never know where it was going to hit.
Right. And so, again, how does this affect the wheat harvest? Because some of that has been going on, correct? And the rain can't help that.
Well, so here's what I was thinking. You know, if you went out and swathed and you had grain laying down, no, you don't want rain on it. Mm-hmm. But most people take it by a straight header so that the grain remains standing straight, and then you just come through and swath it, combine it all in one moving action. And so right now it'll just take a little bit longer for people to get back in the field because you have to wait for your moisture to dry down. You can't combine wheat when it's holding a lot of moisture in the kernels because it affects its storability. They'll get hot spots in the wheat. It'll start to literally catch fire on itself. It'll cause itself to mold, and really you can't mill it when it's that warm. So you have to wait for your wheat to dry down unless you planned on running it through a grain dryer. Most people just decide this time of year it's nice enough, warm enough. They will allow for the time to get in the field once the grain dries to relative moistures that you want it to be at, right. About 13%.
Now, I was talking to one of my friends. He's a farmer down in Nebraska, and he said through July, they only had 10 inches. Since July 1st, they've had an additional 10 inches.
And some areas of Kansas, too.
Yeah, that were so dry. And he said, you know, his first cut of wheat was horrible. But he said his second cut of wheat has just been great. He said it's been absolutely fantastic. So
Power of
did
water.
So does that mean his earlier or later planted wheat? Because he probably had some earlier stuff that wasn't as good.
Yeah,
the later turned out better.
Yeah, the earlier stuff wasn't as good. Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, pardon my eyes from wandering here, but there's a yellow ag cat spray plane that's spraying the field across the road from where I'm sitting, and I'm sort of
Squirrel?
fascinated by just watching
I could
them.
hear it.
Yeah,
I was like,
it's pretty cool.
that sounds like a plane.
It's a plane. Deplane. It's a spray plane, and he's spraying a soybean field.
Now, Bridgette. Okay, I got to ask you something.
Now, Dean.
Are you sure? Are you positive that he's spraying the crops? Are you sure this isn't any low-level chemtrail spraying?
Oh, I am positive it is not. This is a field that's being sprayed because if I were to walk out in there, although I would not, because if a field's being sprayed, that means it has a re-entry interval on it. You can only go back into fields after the re-entry interval is expired once they've been sprayed. Had I been able to walk into the field, I likely would have found soybean aphid, and that's probably the reason why he's spraying that field. Just saying.
All right. Now, are we getting our soybeans sprayed?
They are good.
They are good.
So Justin and I, when we were in the field last week, we even looked for aphids, and we did not find very many. And Justin, how tiny are they?
They tiny. Yeah, they tiny.
You can put about 10 aphids on the head of a pencil or on a pencil eraser. I mean, they're very little.
How do you even, well, I guess they'd be easy to spot. They're a different color than the leaf, so.
Yeah, they're little yellow spongy looking things.
They are bright yellow.
Like SpongeBob SquarePants or?
SpongeBob Circle Pants.
Circle Pants. All right, gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
With
pants.
little with little prongs to stick in and suck out the sap. So they're like tiny vampires.
They're the vampires of the soybean world. There you go.
They are. They're there to suck your sap. That's what they do.
Dang aphids.
Hey, try to say that 5 times fast on the air. I was very careful.
Yeah, I'm
going
to try not to.
I'd end up saying something I shouldn't. So, well.
I was trying not to.
Oh, boy.
I was
too
very well
early
behaved.
to do that. Let's hold off until the last 3 minutes. How about that? And we'll go wild.
Well, I'll tell you
Perfect
what,
timing.
It's a beautiful day out there, guys. Temperatures in the 70s, right around 70 or so across much of the area. It's mainly sunny. We're getting a few fair weather clouds to pop up, but today mid 70s, probably one of the pick days of the week. A little bit of a breeze. And then we start to warm up into the 80s for a couple of days. We'll drop it back down to 80, and then the weekend looks hot. If you're still wanting time at the lake, you're wanting time in the pool, this weekend looks hot with temperatures rebounding back into the 90s. In fact, I was joking with Justin, our American model, which is notorious for over forecasting temperatures, was going 105 to 107 this weekend. I think, Justin. Something like that.
In North Dakota?
104.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
104.
Yeah, there's some hot. I mean, we'll be in the 90s. It's going to be hot, but triple digit
That thing is
triple
just,
digit heat's a little much.
They gave it this big update to make it better or to get it ready to get better, and it sent it backwards like 5 years.
Well, could be a reason behind that too, Justin.
Oh, let's hear it, Dean. I think I know where you're going.
Well, because when they updated this a few years back, there wasn't as much chemtrail in the atmosphere. Since then, that's kind of altered. It may have altered the physics of this particular computer model.
Oh.
So,
Actually, not the route I thought you were going to go with that.
no. Oh, speaking of, so Justin, wait a minute. Did we get the crazy monkey tail? It's hard to tell because you got your headset on. Did you?
Right,
You were
but
supposed to shave and give us the.
We got the monkey tail.
What's it called again? So
it's the monkey tail.
That's all it's called. Okay, take your headset. Take your headset off real quick so we can get a full. So if you're watching on
Full
our
view?
stream, so the one side is shaven and the other side is just all the way sideburn under his chin, and then loops around into his mustache while the other side is totally shaved.
That's the monkey tail.
I bet the wife loves that. I bet
she said it wasn't as bad as she thought it was going to be.
So that's what I was just going to say. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to
Right.
be. I wouldn't recommend
No.
it, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it might be.
Yeah, we shaved everything for our state softball tournament. The team did, and we all did. Well, most of us did fun stuff, and I figured I'd wear it an extra day to show you guys at work.
Nice.
Tr-
So, and
Yeah,
did-
trim
did
it
the
shorter and
softball
color.
It's
team
going
win?
after this.
Softball
What's
went
that,
well.
Bridgette?
Softball team did
Softball
well.
could have gone better, but we went 1-2, so it wasn't. We didn't lose outright. Stupid Fargo teams, I'll tell you what.
Remember that old tune from Bob and Tom, church league softball fist fight.
Right.
That's the one
There
you
you
don't
go.
want to have.
You could believe it. There was enough chirping coming out of my mouth.
Oh, so speaking of chirping, that will go right along with the fact that I carried over some items from Friday when we talked with Randy Nelson from Clay County Extension. And Dean said it's going to get warm again. And so for some of that last season gardening and so forth, I've got some tips we can talk about. And we'll want to do that when we come back. So stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
In today's world, consumers have come to expect more, and that is exactly what we're about at Aspire Optical. More selection with over 2,000 frames to choose from. More access with eye exams on site 6 days a week. More service with amazing opticians offering their very best to you. And now, the more you buy, the more you save. 20% off your first pair, 30% off your second pair, 40% off every pair after that. Aspire Optical. More eyewear and more sunwear like you've never seen.
You know the voice.
I signed name Dale with some bogus A. I didn't know anybody still used AOL.
Me neither. Yeah.
I kind of have an idea. I'm pretty sure I know who this is.
Probably knows Tom from MySpace.
The Jay Thomas Show. Weekdays at 2 on 970 AM and 93.1 FM. WDAY Radio.
Did you know there's another way to manage your farm's risk and protect your equity with margin protection? Hi, this is Bethany Rentz, crop insurance agent with Irie Insurance. Margin protection provides coverage against an unexpected decrease in operating margin. In other words, we can put a policy in place to protect your farm from changing input costs and crop prices. Join us at Irie Insurance for our upcoming margin protection meetings, August 29th at 8:30 a.m. in Devils Lake and 4 p.m. in Hope, and August 30th at 8 a.m. in Hillsborough. For more information, visit our website at irieins.com. Irie Insurance is an equal opportunity provider.
Get a great deal on select Kubota equipment, the #1 tractor brand for durability and owner experience in the U.S. The versatile lineup is built to help you make the most of your land. Right now, get a Kubota compact tractor for $0 down, 0% APR for 84 months, plus save up to $800 on qualifying implements. Now through September 30th, see Acme Equipment for full disclaimer. See the full line of Kubota at Acme Equipment on the I-29 frontage road, Fargo.
Don't miss this chance. Join the Tyler's Tree Service family. Canopies are flourishing and our roots are strengthening at Tyler's Tree Service. Whether you love heights and swinging from branches or keeping your feet planted firmly on the ground, they've got the perfect job for you. At Tyler's, they're not just a team, they're like family. They believe in diversity and inclusion, where everyone's skills and passions are valued. They'll provide on-the-job training. CDL recommended but not required. Apply today at tylerscut.com.
Join us on Tuesday at 10:06 a.m. when we bring you the Luther Family Ford Nonprofit of the Week on the Coffee Club. This is one of the most special things we do to honor and showcase our local nonprofits because they are the lifeblood of keeping our communities safe, fed, housed, educated, and more. Join us at 10:06 a.m. every Tuesday when we bring you another Luther Family Ford Nonprofit of the Week on WDAY's The Coffee Club.
The 4th of July may be over, but Red Wing Shoes is throwing a summer blowout sale like no other. Hi, Teresa here from the Fargo Red Wing Shoe Store. From work boots to hiking boots, even going out on the town boots. For a limited time, choose from select styles only, 30 to 80% off regular price. Why pay more when you can get footwear you need for less? Our summer blowout sale ends August 15th, so hurry in. 3003 Main Avenue in Fargo. Red Wing Shoes for ultimate durability.
A few weeks ago, Jay and I stopped into Comfort King Mattress Factory to check out the beds we've been hearing about. It was either that or counseling.
Yeah, and you know, when Mama doesn't sleep, not even the dogs are happy.
Since then, there's been no more tossing and turning. Jay sleeps like a baby, and when that 3 a.m. alarm goes off, I'm ready for the day.
Seriously, folks, our Comfort King mattress has been a game changer. If you haven't already checked them out, you have to stop by and see what the fuss is all about.
We love our Comfort King. Comfort King Mattress Factory, the original factory of the Dakotas. Sleep well, live well.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for rejoining us. It's 1:22 on this Monday afternoon. Currents out there in the FM Metro, 76 degrees, northeast winds at 5 miles an hour. Hey, if you want to join the conversation today, ask any questions, give us a call on the Red Wing Shoes phone line. That's 701-293-9000, or you can always utilize our inboxes via email at weather.or.ag@flagfamily.com. And we had an email from our friend Eminem over there. He gave us a couple of interesting facts on the old soybean aphid. He said, did you know that the soybean aphids are pregnant with 7 generations and the aphids can change from male to female? They're amazing little creatures is what he says. And Bridgette, you'd probably argue that they're pretty destructive little creatures. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, they are. Nobody really wants to see a soybean aphid. They're not a welcome sight, although the beneficials they bring with them are better. Asian lady beetles, lacewings, those type of things. Soybean aphids are indeed born pregnant. We had this discussion with Patty Prasifka, who was our entomologist guest last week as well. And aphids also, when they decide that it's too crowded in a field, when it's overpopulated, they will sprout wings, catch a ride on the breeze, and move to another field. They'll take off.
Just
sprout
wings.
little animals.
Man.
Yeah,
They're
it's
pretty
like Tiny
fascinating,
Marvel
though.
comics. Yeah, superheroes. They'll go anywhere, and they will repopulate. Like the next generation is born every 3 days. That's how fast they will populate in the field. Yeah,
They'd be busy.
Yeah, they're just getting at it.
Man.
Well, when you're born pregnant, your life has to move fast. I mean, there's no slowing down.
Yeah, no kidding. So how many of those little stick figure people do you think they got on the back of their SUVs?
I covered the whole thing. I mean, family reunions are gigantic. So, geez, Dean's laughing so hard he can't even give you a rim shot, Justin.
Got
So, there, that's perfect.
I had to turn the mic off.
Oh, it's a good
That's
day.
grand.
We made Dean
That
lose
sure
it. That's
is.
perfect. So,
How many more can we get?
There
'em?
we go. There's still time.
I got a couple more
There's
in the
still
chamber.
time.
I don't know if I should shoot the next one off though.
Keep it in the
I
chamber.
better not. I better
Are
not.
they about soybean aphids? Because I loved if we're going to keep it up on the soybean aphid. Oh, dude, what do you got? Let's keep going with this.
I don't think I can say this one. I'll probably end up getting in trouble.
Then don't.
Oh, let's talk
We're
about
just gonna
then don't.
focus on it.
Then don't. Then don't. We'll talk about it over the
Bad,
break.
I'm not gonna say it. Well, I'll tell you guys some other
There we
time.
go. Perfect. Would you like me to talk about
we were
conserving
gonna-
some moisture? How's that?
Yeah, we were going to touch on a little bit about garden tips with the heat coming in and coming close to the end of the year, right, Bridgette?
Okay, so like most of you, my garden's not quite done yet. And the same with many fields that are out there. So personally speaking, the rain that we just got and with the heat towards the end of the week, we're going to start to see a lot of tomatoes that are really ripening. But let's say you're concerned that maybe you weren't in one of those rainfall areas. Do you have a rain barrel? Because if you don't, it's time to start looking at those end of summer clearance sales and buying them. Even if you go to a car wash and get an empty soap barrel. Yeah, get a soap barrel, make sure that you can put it up somewhere so that it's a gravity flow so that you can get water out of it. Time your watering so that you make sure that your drip irrigation is going during the day, so you don't have to worry about those plants sitting in wet overnight so that you don't get mold and so forth. And now it's Dean's turn to try to get me back and make me laugh, and I'm just barely keeping it together on video.
I'll just
Everybody's out of control today.
It's Monday.
So for those who can't see this, I was back this winter I had my name tag on my shirt, and Justin found it hilarious and just started putting Post-it notes on himself with name tags. And that's what they're doing today. And they're not even using names. They're just writing pictures on their Post-it notes.
I've got a name.
I've got a name. I'm a real boy,
Mr.
Dean.
Smiley.
Oh, man.
If you haven't had a chance to see that video yet, head on over to the Facebook page or the YouTube channel, Weather and Ag in Focus. You can see me getting Bridgette almost completely falling apart in the middle of an interview with a U.S. soybean council member. It was pretty funny.
Poor Matt gassed. He may never be the same. And if for those who want to go back and watch this, not only do we archive them on our website, but we also have them on Acres TV. And I have started to get people who've been watching over there and are sending messages about the things that we're doing on air every day. So good news, people are watching over on Acres TV as well.
Hey, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear.
Absolutely.
Bridgette, how are your tomatoes doing over there in your garden? Trying to steer a little bit back into the right lane here.
There are a lot of green ones out there yet. I really could use some red tomatoes. So that sun you're going to give me later this week is a great thing. I really appreciate that.
You know, I went out there to mine and I was just taking a look and I'm like, my tomatoes look a little different. And I went over and looked and I'm like, this is a lot closer to the peas. Well, the tomatoes have gotten so heavy that they're actually bending the tomato cages over, and they're actually starting to pull out of the ground because they're leaning so much to one side. But I guess that's what happens when tomatoes grow like 7 feet tall. They get a little heavy.
So way to go on the height requirement. I just hope they produce some fruit. That'd be great.
Oh, they are loaded, but they're not turning yet. So hopefully with the heat, like you were mentioning, that they're finally turn red and hopefully not completely tear the plant off of the cage.
And
that would be good.
No, I was
just going to say, Mr.
Aphid
Mr. Aphid in studio just wants us to bring him red tomatoes when they're actually ripe.
That works. Or cucumbers. I've got a question, Bridgette. So with the recent rain, on our field, have you had a chance to talk to Jim about, because I know we talked to him early about what he expects the yields to be. Has he changed his mind on anything? Has he even kind of given a guess on what he thinks the yields are going to be?
So we did not get an estimate from him as of recently. We'll have to get him in on our contest because those who are guessing are eligible to win one of our rain gauges from Productive Alternatives in Fergus Falls. But I can tell you that being in the field last week, as we looked at plants, we were looking at 10 to 12 pods per plant, probably about 3 beans for sure in each pod, but they're still flowering. And that means more pods can be coming, especially with the rainfall that we've had. So yield is doing nothing but increasing right now, folks. That's the best news.
Now, here's the thing. Over the next week to 10 days, we're not expecting much more precip. How will that affect it?
Well, if there's enough moisture there,
we should be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we've got some good moisture, that's going to help us continue to push through because Labor Day is kind of that turning point when beans start to die down.
Okay.
Oh, and Justin, one of our listeners was going to Grand Forks over the weekend, and he saw that yellow bean field that you noticed next by the railroad bridge by Buxton. Chad from Dakota Bank was going north. Because I haven't seen the field myself yet, he thinks it might be dry edible beans that were turning in time for harvest. So.
Okay.
That might be the next.
So they turn
spot.
a little bit sooner, or they just get put in earlier, shorter variety, or are they just naturally a shorter cycle than soy?
They can be. You can be knifing them and getting dry edible beans off earlier, but I'd really have to go look at the leaf and decipher what's going on out there just to make sure. But it's very possible that they are early maturing dry edible beans.
Yeah, because it's not spotty or anything. I mean, it's like the whole field. If anything, it's spotty where the green is.
Sure, that would kind of make it up. That would actually be very true. Yeah, excellent.
Cool. Okay, I thought it was just a sick field. I felt bad as I was driving by. Now I feel a little better.
Good, because the only sick people around here is us.
How are the sunflower crop doing out there? If anyone growing sunflowers, you want to chime in, 701-293-9000. I don't think we've really talked about sunflowers at all this year. How are they looking?
We haven't.
How are they doing?
The fields that I've driven by, they look great.
They're blooming.
Yeah.
They look really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, sunflowers don't mind a little drier weather, so they've been coming along. I bet these sunflower selfies are starting all over the countryside these days.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sure. Dean pulled off the side of the road last year and took some photos with some sunflowers.
Yeah, I'm due for a road trip.
All right.
Sunflower selfie
You just got back
kind of
from
weekend.
one.
It was a mini one. That was a mini one.
Oh, you need a longer road trip.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Little small town.
You still got some PTO?
I got plenty.
Burned up?
I still got like 3 weeks
You and
left.
Bridgette got the show under control.
That's a good thing. See,
Dean's gone for a while.
yeah, I'll take
All
some
right.
more time off if you guys want. I mean, like today, like
Sure.
if I'm here
Burn
after
it up, man.
if I'm here
Burn it
after our
up.
next break, you're gonna feel lucky because it's nice out. I might go outside and enjoy this.
It is beautiful. Oh, hey, do you think, Bridgette, you got this?
You can't both leave.
Why not?
And
I
they
want to
will.
go golf. Dean said it's nice outside.
It is nice.
Goodness.
We'll
All
meet
right.
somewhere in
Well,
the middle, and we'll just examine the crops on the side of the interstate, do a little inspecting. We'll chime in. We'll call in, let you know what they look like. Green and healthy.
Here we
You
are.
Go, and we'll go hit the golf course.
Okay, that
here
sounds.
we are, bottom of the hour, 1:32, and we don't know who's going to be back in the next segment. So stick with us so we can find out. And then we have a comment from Steve on line 1 when we come back. So everybody hold. We'll be right back.
At Fisher Investments, our clients know we have their backs.
How do your clients know that?
Because Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, the highest standard for a financial advisor. It means we're there for our clients and always put their interests first.
So wait, you do it because you have to?
No, we do it because it's the right thing to do. Our clients trust us with their retirement savings, and we know how important that responsibility is. So we take the time to really get to know them.
Get to know them how?
We make sure we understand their unique goals, finances, health, family, and lifestyle so we can tailor their portfolio to their specific needs. Our goal is to help them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Sounds like a big responsibility. You must make big commissions then, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We have one single transparent fee that's structured so we do better when our clients do better. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you are switching to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Boost your crop's health with Domark 230 ME and Badge SC fungicide exclusively from Gowan, USA. Domark's systematic action teams up with Badge's outstanding mixing properties for unbeaten disease control on sugar beets, dried edible beans, and canola. Experience the power of two different modes of action with Domark and Badge. Don't wait. Contact your local ag retailer and ask about Domark 230 ME and Badge SC. Always read and follow label directions from Gowan, USA.
Truck Talk is live at O'Kelly's Bar and Grill each Monday evening. Remember, happy hour is 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. with $1 off wells and tall taps plus half-price apps. And right now, you can get Bush Light Pounders for just $5 each. So come to O'Kelly's for delicious apps like bruschetta, street tacos, wings, stuffed mushrooms, shrimp skewers, or bacon Brussels sprouts half-price weekdays 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Come for the apps and drink specials 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. and stay for Track Talk Live at O'Kelly's each Monday. I-29 in Maine and Fargo.
You're building stuff, but you don't have the tools or machinery. Contact Zeus Sales and Equipment. They have what you need. Their vast inventory includes items such as rough terrain and electric scissor lifts, skid steers and compact loaders, walk-behinds, and attachments for sale and rent. Their team is dedicated to helping you find the right equipment. Competitive pricing and flexible options make them the go-to for contractors. 2 locations, the Hollywood Lumber Company and in Fargo. Call 701-951-7368. 951-RENT. ZeusRentals.net. The power of Zeus.
The defending American Association champion FM Redhawks have got the bases covered for fun. Be one of the first 1,000 fans on Wednesday, August 16th, and receive a championship baseball thanks to Farmers Union Insurance. That's Wednesday, August 16th, when the Redhawks take on the Lincoln Salt Dogs at 7:02. For more information on upcoming promotions and to get your tickets, call 235-6161 or go online to fmredhawks.com.
West Fargo Cruise Night is downtown again this year. Join 970 WDAY 93.1 FM, the City of West Fargo Toppers for Cruise Night Thursday, August 17th. Same great cruise night with great food, good friends, cool beverages, and of course the star of the show, all the great classic cars.
Brought to you by Window Tint Pros, Corey's Car Care, Western State Bank, and Johnson Brothers Captain Morgan.
Find more info in the events section on the City of West Fargo website. West Fargo Cruise Night Thursday, August 17th, downtown on Cheyenne.
Our third and final Summer Bash is coming up on Wednesday, August 16th at Olivet Lutheran Church. We'll be serving a dinner fundraiser for our youth starting at 5. The outdoor worship service is at 6, followed by live music by Guys and Dolls. Bring your kids to play on inflatable games and a giant slip and slide. If you've never been to Olivet Lutheran Church and are looking for a church home, this is a great way to learn about us. It's our final Summer Bash, Wednesday, August 16th at Olivet Lutheran Church, on the corner of 13th Avenue and South University Drive, Fargo.
Pucklet Chevrolet Buick GMC in Valley City makes it easy to find your next Chevrolet Buick GMC or pre-owned vehicle by offering a great selection at our best prices possible.
Welcome to WDAY Weather and Ag in Focus. Happy to have you with us today. And this little band of chaos would include Dean Wysocki, Chief Meteorologist, Meteorologist Justin Storm, and myself as Ag Director, Bridgette Readel. I love that barn moo. That's awesome. All right. Thank you to, as we talked about our Here We Grow project earlier, thank you to a couple of our sponsors. One is Peterson Farm Seed. They are the largest regional seed company providing corn and soybean, largest independent seed company, corn and soybean seed to the tri-state area. They do a fabulous job, and thank you for participating in all that you do. And also to Ellingson Drainage, because they've taught us all that drainage is more than just clay tiles in the ground. It's a whole lot different. And if I remember right, they said they put somewhere in the neighborhood of 500,000 pounds, had to be more than that, of recycled plastic. That's what they're using, is they're taking that much recycled plastic out of circulation to make their drain tubes in conjunction with Prinsco. So very good work on their part. Cool. We were busy talking about sunflowers just a little bit ago, and Steve is on line 1. He had a comment for us about sunflowers. Hello, Steve. How are you today?
Well, I'm doing fine. Getting a little warm, but it's good.
Good.
So okay, there's some sunflower seeds by our place. It's if you go down in north of Dilworth on 9, they've been out. The flowers have been flowering for probably about 2 weeks. But my question is, why are they always facing east?
Because should they be moving with the sun?
Well, that's what I thought. But that's my question.
I've noticed that too, actually.
So, okay, this is the part where we are going to need to talk to a sunflower breeder, because I think it actually has to do with with the sunflower, like the variety. Some will move, because I get that from people all the time. Do they move? Do they twist? They're supposed to follow the sun. They don't twist their heads, but they would actually start facing east and then literally like tip up and move over. But most of the time they're staying still. So I would love to visit with a sunflower breeder, though. We haven't had anybody on to talk about that in a long time. So I think you've prompted me to go find a little more research for us, Steve. How's that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think, part of it, too, is then when they get really heavy on that one side, I don't see how they can really move. You know what I'm saying?
They're not going to in there. Yeah, because the head's open and there's so much weight in there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but I don't know nothing. Anyway, how long before they harvest those? Is it going to be a while?
So sunflower... Yeah, they're one of our later crops. They're going to die down. A lot of times they don't go down until about corn timing, after the soybeans are off. So it's going to be a while. You're going to see them completely go from green to brown. There won't be any live foliage left on the time when they go, and those pretty yellow heads kind of shrink up. All the yellow petals fall off, and the head itself dries out so that you don't have as much moisture in there, because sunflowers can hold a lot of moisture in the back of that head. So like when you have years with a lot of snow and early, you can see that sunflower head tip down and then snow fall on the top of it. It's almost like a saucer that holds the snow. But when the snow melts, it melts into the sunflower head, and then that creates chaos when you're trying to combine them, because there's so much moisture. Hard to run them through the machine that way.
Have they become shorter too? It seems like these aren't very tall.
There are shorter stature sunflowers out there already, and it could depend on if you are looking at an oilseed sunflower or a confection sunflower. Confections are the ones we chew at baseball games. Oilseeds get crushed for their oil.
Are they just a different size flower, or what?
you'll see the difference in the seed and their oil content. I don't think their sunflower head size is different, but that's a great question. I think I know enough folks in the sunflower business. We should probably find one who can answer that, because I think that's a good question, Steve.
That's a real good question.
All right.
Yeah, sure is.
Yeah,
Well, hey, appreciate you calling in, Steve.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, really appreciate the call.
If anybody has any of those answers that Steve was asking, shoot us a call on our Red Wing hotline, 701-293-9000, 701-293-9000. Why are they facing to the east? Is it
Well, and then there are also the questions about the size of the head, stature, etc. So let me see what I can do to find somebody with sunflower breeding experience. Maybe we can answer some of those.
I think I know somebody. We met
All
him
right.
at
Make your-
PhD Field Day.
For
Dean,
sunflowers?
were you with me?
No, I interviewed
you
him.
met him.
I interviewed him.
Yeah.
So we will reach out. We'll reach out to him, because he was talking about how they were processed, and it was all sunflower. So
Yeah, they do a bunch of genetics with all the different sunflower breeds.
That would be great fun, because sunflowers is one of our top crops in North Dakota, and they're probably the most iconic because of those pretty yellow heads that this time of year everybody's looking forward to. And if you ever drive by a field and it looks like there's a bag over their heads, it's not because like they're ugly on a first date. That's because those are for research, and you're trying to make sure that you don't get insects or any damage to that head.
you look different on Tinder than you do out in the field. I don't know about
You said you were a lot taller.
So, Bridgette, are most of our sunflowers up here, are they confectionery, or are they for oil purposes?
They're both. We have both of them, because if you think about like giant sunflower seeds down in Wahpeton, they're working with confections, because they have great big contracts with Major League Baseball, providing the giant sunflower seeds to a lot of those teams and stadiums.
How many seeds do you know how many seeds you get? I'm like throwing you questions. Do you know how many seeds you get out of a plant?
A lot.
136 to 187.
Are you serious, or are you just being a wise guy like normal?
You know what, why don't we just do a good old... Yeah, let's just do this. So you don't hear the machine gun keyboard of mine. I'll just mute myself while you guys discuss this.
Okay, but there's got to be some variability depending on the variety, et cetera, of sunflowers that are being planted, is my guess. And also, you have a slight difference in seed shape when you look at those, like the oil seeds are shaped slightly different. They're like a slimmer than you see the confections. We also have a question. So line 1 is Larry. Let's bring Larry in and see if he can ask his question to us.
Yes.
Are you there, Larry?
Hello. You there?
Hello.
Hey, Larry.
Go ahead.
Yep.
Okay. The question is there's a difference of soil, say in the Red River Valley, and when you go to the western part of the state, a little familiar around like Wysocki or that area. Is there do they pick the type of sunflower that they're going to pick out there, comparing to the soil and weather comparing to here in the Red River Valley? How does the farmer decide what particular brand of sunflower he will use in his seed?
That's an awesome question, Larry. So a lot of times farmers are going to decide based on the contract, right? Is it going to be an oil seed, or is it going to be a confection sunflower? So they're going to decide which one they want. Then as you're wondering about soil type, maybe disease as well. So they're going to look at that tolerance package. And also there can be some drought tolerance. We tend to see drier weather out in that south central part of the state around Wysocki, et cetera. So you might look for more drought tolerance than you might in the eastern part of North Dakota. Actually, sunflowers, are making a rebound in eastern North Dakota. For a lot of years, they weren't being planted as prevalently because corn and soybeans, 1, made more money. 2, it would be wet here, and sunflowers don't necessarily like wet feet, and there was a lot of problems with white mold and sclerotinia in those fields, so they would see more disease damage from them. And 3, blackbirds. When you have areas, especially as you get to the Devil's Lake region, where there's lots of sitting water, where it's ponding, you have blackbirds. That's great habitat for them to go from sunflowers for food to the open water on that prairie pothole region. So we've seen a real shift in where sunflowers are being raised. But you're right, we have seen a resurgence in the Red River Valley as of late.
Okay. Thank you. I just only familiar with Red River Valley and say that area between Ventura, Wysocki, along number 3 there, you might be familiar with that area. And I don't see very many sunflowers out there I used to see.
Yep, and they have also raised more soybeans over the last few years as well. They've historically been a pretty good sunflower region, but it might just vary on the year. So you're right, Larry. You and I are talking about the very same area. My brothers farm a little land in that neighborhood along Highway 3.
Okay. Well, thanks for calling in, Larry. Appreciate the phone call. And I got an answer from the old Google.
Oh?
You guys were chatting on how many seeds are in a sunflower head, and I don't know if I believe this or not, but it says 1,000 to 2,000 seeds.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I would
dark,
think that.
Can't even see myself.
Well, because
there we go.
Because think about the size of that sunflower head, right? They're easy when they
That's a lot
dry
of
down.
sunflower seeds, though.
Oh yeah, but how many do you put in your mouth at the same time?
Like one.
No, don't you put a handful in there and then just break them and spit?
No. One at a time.
You don't have a lot of skills.
All the other
Sorry to hear
ones
that.
get lost, and I end up crunching on shells.
That happens.
So I'll just do like 2 or 3, because I find when I get to, if I just throw a handful in there, by the time I get more than 2 or 3 in there, all the shells have softened up and they don't crack as easily. So I just do 1,
That's
2,
very
or 3 at a
true.
time.
Okay.
But that's going to bring us up to the American Ag Network. So we're going to hit that when we come back. We still got ag topics, still got another check on the forecast. And of course, if you want to call in with a question, a comment, or an answer to a question that has been left until our sunflower breeder joins us sometime in the near future, feel free to do so. 701-293-9000. If you call, we'll get you queued up all during the break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Ripley's in Earhart has a great job opportunity for you. Ripley's is now hiring directional drill operators, backhoe operators, and plow operators. Your career opportunity is waiting in the utility construction, directional boring, fiber optic splicing, and fiber to the home industry. Apply online at ripleys-inc.com or call Ripley's for an immediate interview. 218-842-5322.
There's one question I ask those who suffer from chronic lower back pain. If you could feel better than you do, would you be interested? I'm Dr. Chad Zimmerman from the clinic in West Fargo. If you have chronic lower back pain and what you're doing isn't working, we have a 96% success rate with bad backs. Why? Because we're one of the few clinics in the state with advanced lumbar decompression therapy. Just one of hundreds of clients we've successfully treated. Here's Sherry.
There were times when I couldn't stand, I couldn't sit, couldn't work out in my garden with my flowers, couldn't water ski at the lake, had a hard time just bending over to pick up anything off the floor. I can walk without pain. I mean, I feel like I want to dance all the time. I have been shoveling snow. I run my snowblower, and I again can play and walk with my German Shepherd puppy.
If you have chronic lower back pain and want to feel better than you do, give us a call at 701-492-0696 or find us at theclinicnow.com. That's theclinicnow.com. Give us a call or send us a message and let them know Dr. Z sent you.
Reduce your reliance on the grid and save money at the same time. Hi, I'm Ben, owner of Holson Home Automation and Solar. Solar works in our area and is more affordable than ever. With incentives like the 30% federal tax credit, net metering, and low interest financing, you can take back control of your energy costs. Give me a call at 218-78-SOLAR or visit us at holsonhome.com to schedule your free solar consultation. Locally owned Holson Home Automation and Solar. Illuminating lives, energizing communities.
Mixed action in the markets on Monday. This is the American Ag Network of Jesse Allen with this market update. Joining us now, Arlen Suderman with StoneX for market analysis. Arlen, as we look at the grain and oilseed markets, new crop soybeans showing some good support holding here through Monday's trade. Corn pretty quiet, right below unchanged. Wheat market seeing a little more pressure there. What's your take on what's happening here in this grain trade now that the August WASDE report is behind us?
Yeah, USDA may have cut new crop soybean exports by 25 million bushels, but its old crop balance sheet did not see exports cut, as did corn and wheat. And the soybean balance sheet is the tightest of the three going forward. So we're putting some more risk premium into that soybean market this morning. But corn and wheat have some very weak chart signals, and we see a strong dollar this morning as well. The dollar trading to its highest levels that it's traded in the last 5 weeks plus, and even probing above the 200-day moving average for a short time. So that's creating some headwinds for corn and wheat. Trade virtually unfazed by Russia firing shots, warning shots at a civilian cargo ship on Sunday because it refused to stop for inspection, and just focusing on the near-term supplies, which remain more than adequate with a lot of cheap supplies on the world market right now.
We appreciate it. That is Arlen Suderman with Stone X. We see over in the livestock trade mixed activity in cattle with hogs, triple digits lower minus August hogs. That contract expires today. Right now it's unchanged at 102.10. Crude oil down 39 cents a barrel, 82.80, with the Dow Jones quiet, down just 2 points here this hour. NASDAQ is up 112. S&P futures are up 14. Let's check out the markets here on the American Ag Network. I'm Jesse Allen reporting.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for rejoining. 1:53 on this Monday afternoon. You want to call in with any questions? Give us a call, 701-293-9000, or you can send us emails via email to weather@flagfamily.com or ag@flagfamily.com. And we're going to head over to the phone lines right now. I believe we got Bob on line one. Bob, welcome to the show. What's your question or comment?
Yeah, my comment would be on this. I got a call from a former sunflower dealer of mine. Says I need to call in. I'm traveling, so I'm not real sure. He's talking about sunflower and why they turn.
Oh, yes. So the question was, why aren't they turning? And it's probably because the heads are heavy right now and getting ready to go to harvest, so they're not going to be in a moving position. Would that be the case?
Well, they turn earlier, just like a flower would in your house, towards the sun. With the big neck, they turn, it's more predominant, where they start out in the facing east, and by sunset they're facing west. And once they flower, they pretty much quit turning.
Excellent.
There
we are
go.
there. We are at flowering now. That's awesome.
Well, and they'll turn for a while they're flowering when they're young, but yeah, if they get to petal drop, they'll definitely quit.
So what?
Right on.
So if they're flowering right now, then they're going to face east.
Well, they'll face east, but when they're young flower, they'll keep turning.
They'll keep turning.
Turn
Okay.
and follow the sun until they get a little more mature, but then they'll stop.
Interesting.
All right. Cool. Well, hey, thanks for calling in, Bob. Appreciate that.
Your flowers in your home will turn also. That's why a lot of people rotate them, during the day or each day.
Move them around.
Right on. Well, hey, Bob, appreciate the phone call. Thanks for answering that question for us. Really appreciate it. And Bridgette, we had another comment here during the break. Questions if there are custom combiners for sunflowers, and if there are, is it difficult to get the flowers since sometimes there's snow on the ground when they're harvested? That's from Greg.
Okay, so there can be custom combiners for sunflowers. Most custom combiners follow wheat and other small grains, but you could do it for sunflowers. It probably would be someone locally, not on a large scale, that's doing it. Sunflowers are the source of many combine fires. A lot of people don't want to go out and combine those because there's just so much more chance that you're going to burn up a machine. And that's because as you combine them, that head gets dried out and literally just explodes. There's so much dust in the stalk as well, and all those little fines get trapped in your combine, in your machine, and they're easy to ignite if you get any hot spots. So you'll often see people that are washing their machines, or they're blowing them off with air compressors, or even like leaf blowers to try to keep the dust down to prevent the fires. When it comes to the snow on the ground, if the ground is solid, you can travel to combine sunflowers. Many do. But then you also have to consider that, again, you have all that moisture on the head. And with that head being wet, that's going to be difficult to thrash it through the machine. So all the above can be done. It just depends on what's going on that time of year, I would say. And hopefully that helps Greg out and answers his question.
Hey, right on. Thanks, Bridgette. And I think it was a good show. We sent a lot of love over on the sunflowers today. I love to see that.
We did. Well, is that love going to continue with the weather?
Well,
I don't know, Dean. What's it looking like out there for the next couple days?
Yeah, it's not bad out there. Temperature is 76 degrees. A little bit of a breeze, but not much out of the north. And just a few fair weather cumulus clouds out there right now. And we'll top out in the mid to, some areas might touch the upper 70s, 77, 78, but right around there. And then as we head into tonight, we'll have clear skies and we'll drop back into the 50s. And as we head into your Tuesday, you know what Tuesday is? It is Bridgette.
No, it's not.
Tuesday. So notice we had an emailer say, "Did you notice if you look up in the sky today, not one chemtrail up there? Let's see what happens on Tuesday." But weather will be windy and warmer. And with
from
highs.
now on, I think if I'm taking days off, I'm just going to take Tuesdays off, so I don't even have to hear about it. I'm going to be done.
Mid-80s.
Going to ring Dean back in, though.
Right. Exactly.
I just feed into it.
Yeah, you would. No, that's for sure. So mid-80s and windy for tomorrow and Wednesday. You'll notice a lot more wind. And then cool front hits Wednesday afternoon, and then that'll temporarily drop us back to about 80 on Thursday, and then 90 on Friday, and we're in the 90s for this upcoming weekend. In fact, this looks like a pretty hot, windy, humid weekend. So if you have any outdoor plans this weekend, especially if you're lake or pool, it's going to be a hot one. This is going to be more like your typical summer-like weekend. And, let's keep in mind, we don't have a whole lot of weekends left, summer weekends, where we can go out and enjoy the pool. We can go out and enjoy the lakes. This will be one of those weekends. And really over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be on kind of a roller coaster ride with temperatures going from 70s to low 80s, back up into the 90s for a few days, and back down into the 70s and 80s. That's kind of the pattern that we're going to be seeing here over the next couple of weeks. Unfortunately, I don't see a lot of rain. We can get some, but nothing widespread. It doesn't look like, you get these thunderstorms that'll pop up on a cold front now and then. Those could produce some locally higher amounts, but no widespread rain. So kind of dry over the next week to 10 days, opposed to what we just had over the weekend where, again, 1 to 3 inches of rain fell from the FM area all the way down south towards Wahpeton, Sisseton, those areas picking up down towards the South Dakota border, 2-3 inches of rain. So that was some much needed moisture for our area. Get out and enjoy today. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And our guest tomorrow, Bridgette, Susan Weaver Ford, right?
Yep, she's a farmer in North Carolina. Let's talk about encroachment coming in from urban areas. She's pretty much surrounded by it. So let's talk to Susan about what that's like.
All right. The Jay Thomas Show is coming up next.
AM 970 and FM 93.1, WDAY, Fargo, Moorhead, West Fargo.